This morning, there are new developments in the Ukraine war as the whole Luhansk region edges closer to falling under total Russian control. The province's governor says Ukrainian troops are being withdrawn from the city of Sievierodonestsk, which has suffered heavy fighting in recent weeks. He said, quote, staying in broken positions makes no sense. The number of dead is growing. The nearby city of Lysychansk is now seeing the last Ukrainian-controlled city in that region. But the situation there is growing even more dire. Away from the battlefield, the European Union has approved Ukraine as a candidate country to join the bloc in what European leaders have called a historic moment.
Let me stress that I'm deeply convinced that our decision that we have taken today strengthens us all. It strengthens Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia in the face of Russian aggression. And it strengthens the European Union. Of course, the countries all have to do homework before moving to the next stage of the accession process. But I am convinced that they will all move as swiftly as possible and work as hard as possible to implement the necessary reforms.
We're joined now by Angela Stent. She's a senior advisor to the Center of Eurasian, Russian and East European Studies at Georgetown University and a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. Angela, good morning to you. Great to have you with us. I want to start with what's happening in the Donbas. It looks like that region of Luhansk is on the verge of falling after Ukrainian troops were ordered to pull out of Sievierodonestsk. Is Russia closing in on a major battleground victory there? And what could that loss mean for Ukraine?
Yes, the Russians certainly want to take over the whole of the Donbas region. So there are two so-called republics, Luhansk and Donetsk, and they're about, I think, to take over Luhansk, as you've shown in your reporting. Their next target will be Donetsk. They will want to take over that entire region. And that is a setback for the Ukrainians. We do have new U.S. high-tech weapons, rockets that have arrived in Ukraine. They'll be trying to push back, but this will be Russia's next target. Will be taking over the Donbas Republic, too.
Well, the U.S. announced another $450 million worth of weapons going to Ukraine. This brings America's total contribution to around $6.1 billion, as we're seeing Ukraine losing ground despite the massive arms supplies. Are we seeing enough on the diplomatic front to try to solve this problem and end this war? Is it even possible to restart the peace talks right now?
Well, there's very little happening on the diplomatic front. Frankly, Vladimir Putin isn't interested in a diplomatic solution at the moment. The Russians just want to keep on pushing, taking as much of Ukraine as they can. So it looked much better at the beginning of April. There were peace talks. There were discussions about how one could go forward. But I don't think we're going to see anything in terms of real serious negotiations until the Russians decide that it's in their interest to do that. And we have no sense of when that will be.
And we don't have much time here, but I want to ask you about the European Union approval of Ukraine as a candidate country. President Zelensky calling it the most important decision since his country broke from the Soviet Union. How significant is this, and how do you think Russia views it?
Well, it's very important symbolically and as a morale booster. Ukraine has a lot of work to do, as we heard Ursula von der Leyen say, but it means that they have a perspective to join the European Union. The Russians have so far said, well, you know, if they want to join, that's their business. So I don't think Russia's that concerned about it at the moment. And I think it just is very important for the Ukrainians to understand that they do have this perspective that will give them a future that's different from a future with Russia.
Certainly could use a morale boost. Angela Stent, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.